Hi guys, and welcome everybody to our Wednesday night launch. So we've got some beautiful people launching tonight. We've got Shannon, Jess, Kelly, Jelaine, Lynette, and hopefully Oakley. So thank you for jumping on and supporting. And hopefully we can get to share this with you guys when you can get a chance and have a watch, so that you get to know what your friends are up to and how it is that you can support them and really understand what they're going through. Because sometimes it does look a little bit scary when you're standing from the outside thinking, what's all this stuff that, they're getting onto, or they're posting, or they're doing all this new random stuff. And what we're here is just to kind of break it all down, explain to you what it is they're doing, why they're so passionate about it, and see if maybe it could be for you or anybody that you know about as well. All right, so like I said, my name's Katrina, and I've been doing this now for 7 months. I've been on the product for 8. That was what got me really interested. I started taking the product and I absolutely loved it. And I just asked the right questions, and because I wanted to help my family and friends get on the product, it worked out cheaper for me to join the business. And since I've joined, I've been so in love with it. There's definitely no turning back, because now I get to jump on board and help other people like these beautiful ladies start to do their journey as well. So our products are called Juice Plus. I know some of you may have seen the pictures and the posts, the stories, the results, things like that going around Facebook at the moment. We have an amazing tool called social media, and it's really starting to blast the way in our marketing. I know for myself, if you go and you eat a really good meal, you take a photo of it, you post it up, you say everybody needs to go here and, eat. You share what you like, right? So that's why we're finding such a boom in our market at the moment, because once people take our products and they start to understand the benefits that it's doing on the inside, and you see the results on the outside, you want to share that, right? So you want to share it with your friends and family. You're seeing all these amazing results pop up on Facebook, and there's probably a pretty good chance that you're friends with one of them on here tonight. So I'm going to go through a little bit about the products in detail to give you a little bit more of an explanation. Please feel free, though, to jump on to anybody who's invited you to watch this link and ask them any questions, because we are not a hard selling company. We're all about giving products to people who need them and people who want them, okay? It's not about pushing a product or anything like that for us. We're actually about helping people, and I know pushing products doesn't help. Okay, so don't be frightened to ask the questions. Hopefully I can cover most of it for you, but there's definitely some other experts here that can help you as well. All right, so our company started 30 years ago. So these two little products here have been around 30 years. And that just goes to show some amazing longevity, because you don't get to see that much these days. 30 years these little guys have been around. And then 15 years later, they brought in this one as well. Okay, now they do look a little bit weird, little canisters, not quite sure what's in them. They look a bit like a supplement. But what they are is they're actually a whole food-based product. Okay, so they're the goods of fruit, veggies, and berries. They're actually picked when they're completely ripe, and these produce are totally GMO free. So they don't use any nasties, no herbicides, no pesticides when they're grown. They're picked right at the end of that nutrient dense state. They're then slowly freeze dried so that the nutrients stay alive, and they're put inside a capsule. The capsule's also vegan friendly as well, so everything's natural. Now, because that's done so delicately, it actually keeps those enzymes alive, exactly the same as if you were to go and have real fruit and veggies, okay? Because that's what they are, real fruit and veggies. And that's why we see so many amazing results, because literally we know these days that people aren't getting enough fruits and veggies in their diet. Okay, it's next to impossible. We're so busy, we're running around, we're not really taking the time to nourish our bodies. Because of that, we're seeing crazy stuff happen. The rate of diabetes has gone up. People are obese. People are unhappy. People are seeing heart disease, autoimmune conditions, skin conditions, not even to mention cancer and the nastier stuff that can actually ruin your life. So we're seeing so much of a health disaster pretty much in our time these days. And it literally is because of our lifestyle. We're eating processed food, easy to grab food, even our fruits and veggies. If we're not taking the time to, which most of us aren't, we're just picking them up from the local supermarket. Now, these veggies and fruit are quite often picked months beforehand. So they're picked when they're not ripe, they're not at that nutrient dense stage, and they're quite often sprayed with herbs and pesticides to keep them looking fresh. A lot of the time, they're even ripened under gas or ripened under lights. And because of that, we're seeing really substandard quality of produce, and we're missing all those nutrients inside our body. So it makes sense, doesn't it? It makes sense why we need something to fill that gap, especially if you're busy, if you're working out, if you're going to work all day, if you've got a family and you're running around after them. You'll find that you really do start to lack that energy. And, you know, I know myself, I thought that that was just normal. You spend so long feeling that way that it becomes the new normal, and you start to just take, you know, that kind of health for granted. But once I started taking these, I realized that my body could do so much better when it's fueled optimally. All right, so these ones are our capsules. They work on a micronutrient level. So there's 35 peer-reviewed studies done over the 30 years on them to actually claim what I'm saying. So they're amazing. This berry blend, when it was introduced, they did a study, and it has been ongoing. It's actually shown to increase your antibodies by 4 times as the normal rate of somebody who wasn't taking them. So if you can imagine, that's amazing, you know, for preventative health, for keeping your skin looking well, for keeping your hair growing, your nails growing. If you've got skin issues like psoriasis or eczema or acne, those antibodies are amazing. And, you know, the lovely ladies on here tonight can send you to some of our testimonials pages, and you can read the results for yourself, because the stories are what really hits home. You know, I know for myself, medical journals and, you know, research journals and things like that aren't my cup of tea. It's great to know that they're there, but I'm not going to spend the time reading through them, because I prefer to see the stories. If they work for other people, then there's a good chance it'll work for me. So that's my selling point. Now these ones, okay, so they were the traditional ones, the berry, goodness me, the fruit and the veggies, okay? So they're just the 3. It's a really simple product. That's our premium packet. Sorry, that's my daughter. That's our premium packet, okay? Then you've got the fruits and veg, or just the berries if you're just after the antibodies. So we're not a big catalogue program. You're just going to get the capsules. They work on the micronutrient level, like I said. You're more than happy to just go for them if you like. But then we also have a macronutrient product, which is our shakes. Now, these are vegan plant-based protein powder. So just like the other ones, they're entirely natural. They're not made of anything artificial. And what I really like about that, and the difference between what you can buy from the chemist, is that it means it's bioavailable in our body. Okay, because it's real food, it's recognized like real food, and it goes to where it needs to do. So quite often, you know, if you're taking these supplements from the chemist and they're made inside a factory and they're so isolated that our body doesn't know what to do with them, they're often excreted, and it's a waste of our money. Okay, so these, they really do work. They have the theories behind them, the studies behind them, to show that these nutrients work on a cellular level, just like real food, just like you are flooding your body full of all that nutrients all day. So these ones are our good fats and our clean proteins. Again, it's pea protein, not whey protein. So you're not having any animal products or any fillers or anything synthetic like that. Now, for me, I was never a big protein person. I didn't quite understand the whole theory behind having a protein shake or something, because I just figured just go eat food, right? That's pretty much what I used to say to my partner when he'd bring home the smelly tubs of protein. But these are different. They're literally superfood. So if I was to read them out, these are things that I would have never put in my trolley, never even thought about putting in my body, really. But now I'm getting them on a daily inside my body, and my children are also having them as well, which is a win-win. So, you know, this one has things like, where are we at? Ancient grain blend, sprout blend, pea protein, broccoli sprouts, alfalfa sprouts, radish, amaranth, millet, quinoa, spirulina, mushroom powder, and also a beautiful little one. It's my favorite. They have a mineral in there called niacin. And niacin's an actual natural antidepressant. And for me, this is massive, because that's where my story stems from. I went to school with a girl that was selling these, and I'd seen her posting about them. I'd seen her journey on it, but I was so skeptical, because I come from a very holistic background. You know, I know the power of juicing. I know the power of whole foods. So when I seen something in a canister and in a label, I didn't quite, look further, and I prejudged them. So I never really talked about it to her until one day we caught up for coffee. And I told her that I was struggling a little bit. I'd been suffering with anxiety and depression, which is normally something I was keeping aside from everybody. You know, I was just trying to cope by myself, but it was getting to that point where I was literally falling apart and I needed to go to the doctor, but I was refusing to do so. I didn't want to be put on a pill that I knew would probably counteract with something else and I'd be stuck taking it for months. So, you know, my girlfriend said to me, have you seen that stuff that I'm selling? And I thought, oh, here we go. Righto. But I was at that stage where I literally had no other option. I had no other choice. So she was awesome. She actually gave me some of the capsules and she said, look, take these home, try them for a week. Next week, I'll take your order. That's how sure she was of them. And literally within a couple of days, so I was just on the capsules at that time, I started to notice that my energy shifted and I had more motivation, more inspiration. I could do more during the day without feeling so crappy. And for anybody that suffered depression, you know that that's something that really gets you down. If you can't go about your daily life and you constantly feel really low, it just perpetuates more darkness. So to be able to have that energy and get up and go for a walk or spend time with my daughters, it was really massive. Then the second thing I noticed was that I started sleeping better. And because I'd had anxiety, I would wake up at about 3:30 in the morning and not be able to get back to sleep because I'd feel so terrified of what the day was going to bring. That eased. I started waking up at 6 and 7. And then I started sleeping all the way through till my children woke up. And it was really amazing because, I thought I was healthy. At that time, I was a dance teacher. I was I was trying my hardest to be fit, but I obviously wasn't filling my body with as many nutrients as it needed, and it was bringing up these illnesses as a reflection. So I was sold, literally, like she said, and because I have depression and anxiety pretty prevalent in my family, I said to her, my family need to get on this. Like, I need to talk to my family about it. And then she introduced me to the business, and the rest is history. But literally, I just wanted to share that because it does work. That little mineral called niacin, it can change lives. And it's funny because it's a natural thing that should be in our soil. But these days, because of excess farming and the herbs and the pesticides that we're putting on our crops, we're not finding that. So this can bridge that gap and make sure that you're getting it inside your body, and you really will be able to tell the difference. All right, now our third product and our final product is our Kids Chewies. So as I mentioned, I do have 2 young children, 2 little girls. So these were fabulous for me. The even better part was that they come free. So when I ordered some capsules for myself, Juice Plus sent me children's products for free. And that was kind of like, this was before I decided if I was going to do the business or not. But that was a big selling point for me because I thought, you know what, if they're prepared to throw products at me that I know are high quality, and the full price retail for these are quite expensive. So if they were willing to give them to me for free, to give to my children, I know they've got a big heart and I know that they want to actually help health. So my kids love them. They taste just like lollies, even though they're totally natural. They are mixed with a fruit pectin. So even the veggie ones taste quite sweet. But the cool thing about it is because it's a whole food product like the capsules, they're literally getting whole food. So these veggie ones, they have carrot, cabbage, kale, broccoli, beetroot, tomato, spinach, parsley, all sorts of things that my children would never look at. But now they're eating every day. So it's really cool. The cool thing about the whole program is that when you put all these nutrients inside your body starts to crave better stuff. It's fine as an adult because you start to know that, yes, okay, good, I'm putting these capsules inside my body, I'm getting the nutrients there, and then I'm going to go have a salad and add even more nutrients. Okay, kids don't see it like that. They think, yeah, I'm having these lollies, but I don't want to take carrots to school. So getting these inside kids and starting to flood their body full of nutrients and getting their cells to actually crave things is amazing because they start to make better food choices. They start to actually want to eat things that are better for them, and they start to drink more water. It really is quite amazing, but if it's just the like attracts like. I know myself, if I go out and have a really slack weekend with crappy food, I'm likely to eat crappy food for the rest of the week because it's what my body is, passing on through. So these are really cool because it's the opposite. You're filling your body full of good stuff, and the good stuff is going to keep continuing. Now, I, at the start, was a bit like, well, why don't you go out and just eat better food? Which is cool. That's what we want everybody to do, and that's what the goal is. So this program, instead of replacing that, it actually encourages it. So we're very lucky. Our team here, based on the Gold Coast and the greater community now, because we've all spread out, they actually have a program designed around these products called the Juicy Body Transformation. Now, this is made through our nutritional health coaches and our PTs, and they've designed a whole program full of clean eating recipes, paleo recipes, workout guides, pantry guides, shopping journals, gratitude exercises, all these amazing things that are great for your well health. It comes free with any of our products. So you're not only getting good nutrients inside your body, but you're starting to learn how to have a healthier food culture. And my favorite part about that program is that it's family friendly and it's not based on deprivation. Because our health coaches see the importance of whole food, they make these ingredients all about whole food and clean eating, okay, which is easy to do. It's really easy to do, and it means that I'm not cooking 2 separate meals for the adults and the kids. We're all eating the same thing. It's all family friendly. So if you're interested about any of that, or you have any issues that you think may be helped by a flood of nutrients, please talk to one of these ladies, because I mean, we've got all sorts of stories. So many of my customers, like my mum suffers an autoimmune condition called lupus, and one of my teammates also has lupus as well, and both of them have been able to see amazing results on this product. And we're not kind of selling you a miracle pill. There's a good chance that it may just fix things that you can't see. It may just work internally, but we know by research that it's going to do something. It's going to do good somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to jump on over to Shannon now. I'd love her to share her product story, because what's really cool is everybody's different. Everybody's body works differently. So when you get all those nutrients, we're going to see different kind of things. So I've shared a little bit about my story. I'm going to jump on over to Shannon and get her to share hers.
Hi. All right, so I don't want to ramble because there's actually quite a few things that the products have done for me. But mainly what I was looking for was more energy. I'm a mama and working, so my energy levels were crap. I wasn't sleeping very well. I was just always exhausted. So that's really what I was looking for to start with. And then when I found out that it could do more for skin and obviously inner health, it got me even more excited. And I can say I've been on the product 2.5 months. My energy has increased hugely. I get comments from clients all the time. I'm a beauty therapist, so I'm around people all the time. And even they've picked up on it, which is really, really cool, because I know I feel great, but it's different for someone else on the outside to see that as well. Another major thing for me was my skin. So I suffer from rosacea, which is a skin condition where you're always red, sore and sensitive. It's usually seen in older people, but unfortunately I got it. So it means I was always uncomfortable. And being a beauty therapist, it was a little bit embarrassing sometimes, because people have this picture of you that you're supposed to have this perfect skin, and I just didn't have that. And I noticed after 2 weeks, my skin started clearing up, and that is huge. I've tried every product under the sun to try and get my skin to clear, and nothing works. And this has been the only thing that I've found that actually clears up my rosacea. So that was massive for me. Another big win for me was I also suffer from anxiety. And since being on the product, I've actually come off my medication. Yeah, I mean, there's so many, I know, but there's so many things. It's just amazing. Obviously, like I said, I'm a mum, so I've got kids. So my kids are on the Chewies and they love them, which is awesome, because my little girl really struggles to eat really anything. So having the Chews there, it just gives me peace of mind that she's actually getting everything that she's meant to be getting. To the point where they've actually demolished all the Chewies early, but it just means that I can just break up a capsule for her and put it in some yogurt and she'll eat it. And I still know that she's getting all the good stuff that she needs. She doesn't have to have the Chewies, she can have the capsules as well. Like I make them smoothies with the capsules and all of that. So yeah, it's peace of mind that they're getting everything that they need to get as well. and you can see the benefits in their behaviour and and also craving better foods. So yeah, that's pretty much my story.
Thank you, darling. Thank you. Thanks for sharing. I know it's always a little unnerving getting on, but I'm going to go over.
Yeah.
It is, isn't it? I'm going to go over to Gayleen now and get her to share her story. Hi, darling.
Hi. Hello.
Go.
So I've been on the product for nearly 6 months, and I had just recently had a little baby girl. So I had 3 children that I was looking after. My husband works full time and crazy hours, so I was just had no energy whatsoever, really unmotivated. Was always napping. I've suffered from bloat since I was a teenager. I would just have to drink water and just be bloated. So Juice Plus came into my life and it was amazing. It honestly has changed my life. I'm now a couple of weeks into the product. I had so much more energy. I was sleeping better. I was able to not have any naps during the day when my daughter was sleeping. I could actually get up and do stuff. And yeah, I love it. I love sharing my story. Another one of my stories is also my children. They are on the chews as well. And my son, who is 5, hasn't had a vegetable since he was 2.5 years old. So for me, it was pretty incredible to where he's gone from at the start of 5 months ago to now. He is just vegetable crazy. I tell you, like, if you're friends with me on Facebook, you'll see some of my posts, and a lot of them are directed at my children and the success I've had with them. And that's a story I really like to share with people, because I do have a lot of friends, and I know a lot of people have fussy children when it comes to fruits and vegetables. So I do like to share my story and, give hope to people that, this really does work. And honestly, like now, all I buy is fruits and vegetables. I can't keep up with it. I have to go to Harbour Town where it's really cheap to buy boxes and boxes of fruit, because they're just smashing them back. And, they're really into cooking and baking and making things with the fruit and little creations. We make some little creations and just mix it up. And I'm in the stages of actually doing my own little recipe book for kids. I know I've been wanting to do it for a long time. So I'm just in the process of actually getting a publisher on board to help me with it. And all the recipes and creations will be by Haven and Sky themselves. So hopefully early January, you might see something out there.
That's so exciting. Can I say, I'm friends with Gayleen on Facebook, and I love your posts. You get so creative. It almost makes me feel like a bad mum, because I'm like, hurry up, I'll do all this as well. My kids, I just chop it up in nice little cubes and put it on a plate. But you're amazing. You're such an inspiration. So well done. And I'm really excited to hear that. That's great news, hun.
Thank you, Hammy.
No worries. So I'm going to switch gears a little bit now, because otherwise we can talk about the product all night. But I'm going to talk a little bit about the business, because it's a business launch. We're going to cover that, because I know I was the biggest culprit at the start about having preconceived notions of what a business like this could be like. Okay, you work online, so obviously it must be a pyramid scam, right? That was my thought, and I came from having one of my close friends doing it. So I'm going to break them down, because I understand the feeling. And I just want you guys to bear with me, have a bit of an open mind. And once you get through, you'll see that it really makes sense. And there's a reason why so many of us are so passionate. Okay, it's not because we've been brainwashed or it's some crazy cult. It's literally because it makes sense and we have a lot of fun doing it. Okay, now first up, Juice Plus is not a sign-up club. So we get nothing by signing people up. All right, I just want to put that out there, because that was what I assumed. Okay, we are literally a legitimate business. And like I've said, the business has been around for about 45 years. The product's been around for 30. So just to let you know, there's so much longevity in our company. And if there was anything slightly corrupt or wrong or, unethical about that, we wouldn't be here. We're literally here because people see the value of what business structure we have, and they utilize it and they find success themselves. And what makes it even better is we have an awesome product to use that for. Okay, so for me, I came into it, like I said, 7 months ago now. And I was a skeptic because I'd seen, I don't know, I'm from Australia here, so I know a couple of you are going to be from New Zealand, but we have a company here called Amway. It's pretty much global, but it's kind of like the pyramid scam. And my parents had issues with it when we were younger. You know, they got used and abused. And for me, I've just labeled anything online, Amway section, I'm not going there. But, you know, once I really loved the product, I went back and I talked to Lauren about it, and I said, you know, how is it work? Does someone sit above me, and are they going to make all my money? Because that's what I assumed happens. You know, and she explained to me. So I'm going to explain to you exactly how she explained it, because it really makes sense. Okay, so literally I came out of high school and at, you know, 17, 18, and I started working at a tourism company in Surfers Paradise. So it was really fun, you know, like an 18-year-old working in Surfers. I loved it. It was pretty exciting, but they got to the stage where I was going every day to do the same shit, and I was spending my time working for someone else's dream. Okay, I was putting all my time and effort in there. I was working for an hour and getting told how much I was worth. Okay, so I came in down the bottom here as a little retail clerk. Okay, now our business was actually family run. So the CEO, he created it, and it was his baby. He was very passionate about it. Then his board of directors were actually his son and his wife. And then his next son down was our general manager. Then we went to our manager. Then we had second in charge. Then we had senior supervisor, supervisors, and the little minions down the bottom. Okay, so I'm ashamed to say it, but I actually worked here for 7 years. I gave them 7 years of my life, and I got to assistant manager. Now, mind you, those 7 years, I think I had one Christmas off. You know, I worked every Easter. I worked every long weekend. I never had a weekend to go and spend with my friends. You know, I was constantly working. I would do 40 hours a week for someone else. And they were 40 hours of my life that I wasn't getting back. You know, I was very, very little pay. What I found is that I was slaving away, and it actually became a vicious cycle, because as we all tried to move up, the positions came less and less. And, you know, when I specifically remember going for the senior supervisor position, and there was a story told about me by a couple of the other girls that was completely untrue, but they wanted gossip to go around to knock my position off so that I wouldn't have, you know, that leg up to get the position. And I felt really pissed off, because these were supposed to be my friends. And I remember that feeling directly, because I was like, I have been so nice to you. We've worked together for so long. You know, I didn't understand the competition and the bitchiness. So, you know, that kind of mentality, it made it really nasty. We were constantly stepping over each other. There were constantly gossip going around because you wanted to be better than the next person. What I could never get to hear, okay? When Greg was finished, he was going to give it to his son. When that son was finished, it was going to go to his son. And then it would probably go to one of their daughters or one of their sons. You know, it was a family-run business. I wasn't going to become the CEO. I was working my ass off, you know, being the front of their company while they could go and do the things they wanted to. And that's traditional business, right? That's what most of us do. We go out of school, we think this is normal, and we live it. We live it for a good 20 to 30 years, sometimes even 60 years of our life before we get over it. You know, and we might have enough to retire. Then, you know, I'll still use this example. While I was slaving away here for 7 years, I thought, you know what, there's got to be something better. I was a passionate dancer and I loved dancing. And the company that I was teaching for at the time went under. And I was devastated, because I thought, you know what, I really want to keep doing this. I'm giving back to people. I love being able to teach the smaller children. At that time, I didn't have any of my own, obviously. So I decided that I was going to create this amazing dance school, and it would be my legacy forever. Okay, pretty much a big dream of mine. So I created it. I became the CEO up here with 2 business partners, and we worked our asses off, our absolute asses off. You know, when I wasn't here at this traditional business, I was off working on my own business. Now, that business, that dance studio, cost tens of thousands of dollars, and it's still costing it. So it was an expense. We had so many overheads. Okay, we had hall hire, and then we went to rent, and then we went to interest and insurance and wages and all sorts of things like electricity bills and, you know, cooking bills and things that you'd never even think, but they just kept rolling in. So it got really depressing, and I was spending so much of my time there fixing up everybody else's issues that I still didn't have that freedom I was craving. I felt like, yes, I had my own business, but it owned me. I was always there. I could never take holidays because if I took holidays, the place would fall apart. The same thing happened with our staff. You know, we'd have our professional dancers come in and they wanted to work their way up the chain. They wanted to prove themselves, you know, because they had strong work ethic. They were talented. As they went up and down, I don't know if any of you have ever done dancing or a similar sport that's mostly female orientated, but it was hectic. It was really, there was so much gossiping, so much bitching, and it turned into such a negative workplace that after I had my children, I said, you know what, I'm out. I'm going to cut my losses. And I gave it to my business partners and walked away because I was so over the negative vibes. You know, and at that stage, I had no idea what I wanted to do. No idea. And it was just funny that this kind of all fell in my lap at the same time. I guess that's why I was a little bit more open-minded to the possibility of it. Because what I found, because when I said, is it a pyramid scam? Lauren showed me that, right? She was working at Woolies and she said, this is my pyramid scam. This is my online business. Cool. So when we come in, we all start off down the bottom. There's unlimited positions at this level. We call it VF for virtual franchisee, okay, because everything we have is online. At our pinnacle position, we don't have a CEO, we have an NMD, and that's National Marketing Director. There's also unlimited positions of them at the top. We can never have too many NMDs because it's your own business. It's like being your own CEO, okay? So the really cool thing about it is that you go up without having to step over anybody. And because of that, you get a really nice vibe because people want you to do well because they're going to do well as well. If we're all doing well and we're all egging each other on, we're all getting what we want, okay? The cool thing about it is that you can't get to NMD if you're not a nice person. If you don't want to go out there and help people with their health and actually take an interest in how you can help them, or you want to go out there and like I'm doing with the girls tonight, helping them out with their business, you're not going to get there. So not only does it kill all the neg ferrets because they can't survive in a friendly environment, it makes everybody want to help each other so that we can all raise each other up. And that was what I wanted. You know, that was what I secretly loved, and that's what I hated about the traditional business and I hated about the dance school. I just never, ever thought that I'd find it in network marketing. Okay, so I hope that makes a little bit of sense. The cool thing about this literally is that there's nothing hidden. So these people up here, they don't make money off these people. Our job is just to help them because that's our job title. Okay? Our business, so our network marketing company, Juice Plus, has never, ever paid any marketing. So in the 30 years that they've been around, they haven't paid 1 cent towards a TV advertising, you know, a billboard, any kind of campaign. So imagine the millions upon millions upon millions of dollars that this company has saved. The millions of dollars. You know, I know, like, who is that? Kylie Jenner with the lip stuff. Imagine how much she gets paid to endorse that shit on her Instagram. And who knows if she really uses it. Okay, that is shitty marketing, but so many of us go for it. Okay, this is real marketing because it pays those millions and millions of dollars back into the distributors to share our stories of what works. Okay, so it really works. It really works, and it makes sense when you hear somebody say it. Now, for me, my next issue was I didn't think I knew enough people, and it's not that I had a big network. I had a dance studio. I didn't want them to feel poached. I didn't want to feel like I was taking my family and friends and turning them into my business because it's not my style. So I came into it and I said to Lauren, you know, I don't think I'll get team because I don't know anybody. And I'm going to show you just how wrong I was and how wrong that could be if that's a limiting belief for you as well. So I came into the business. Here's me, Katrina. Now, 7 months ago, I actually, from dancing, now this was a lady I didn't really know very well. We talked briefly, but her son danced at my dance school, and she also did family daycare because that's what I was doing during the day to pay more bills. So we had that similarity. She's seen that I put up Juice Plus because I was taking it. She said, have you looked into the business? Because I really want to start an online business. I said, no, I haven't, but I've got a launch coming up this weekend. Do you want to come with me? So Miranda looked at the launch, similar to this one, and she said, you know what, I'm in, because she wanted out of her family daycare, which anybody who's done family daycare, you understand why. And then family daycare business, I was sending my girls to a family daycare lady named Tracy. And Tracy actually got interested because at the start she noticed my energy go crazy. And because she'd seen me doing family daycare during the day and then dancing all night, she literally knew how dead I was. And when I started taking this product and I started feeling better, she noticed and she said, what are you doing? And I said to her, I found this natural supplement. You know, I judged it for ages, but it's doing really wonderful things and I'm really happy with it. So she said, keep me informed. If it keeps going, I want to order some. So when I started my business, I went back to Trace and I said, look, I'm actually starting the business because I love the product so much. Do you want to order some from me? Now, she was really funny because she said, you know what? I'm really skeptical about these things, but I think I want to give the business a go too. So she came along to a similar launch like this and she decided she probably wouldn't be for her, but she was going to start anyway because she wanted to order her product and it would mean she'd get it cheaper. Now, Miranda went off and met Danny. Danny met Amanda. Amanda met Roz. Tracy went off and met Katrina. Sorry, another Katrina. And then Katrina joined her sister, Chelsea. And Chelsea joined her mum, Val. Okay, now this was just at the start of my business. The only two people I kind of knew before this were Tracy and Miranda, two people I never thought would actually be interested in it. But as you can see, they grew. It popcorned out. What's really cool from now is that I literally have joined linked arms with more. So of these girls, so of these girls, so of these girls, so of these girls, so's Roz, so's Val, so's Chelsea, so's Chelsea's. And it literally, this is what it does. It goes nuts. It goes so nuts that in 7 months, I have 105 ladies and gents in my business. I came into this with the biggest worry that I didn't want to feel like I was poaching anybody and I didn't think I'd get team. And this is what happened. And to let you guys know, probably under 10%, I'd say around 8% of my, probably not even that, 8% of my business are people that I knew beforehand. So these are all people I've met along the way, whether it's through internet, whether it's through talking at shops or talking at play groups or literally just sharing my story of what I do. They become interested and they think, oh, maybe I could do that. And it booms. It goes crazy. So you do not need to know lots of people and you do not need to utilize your family and friends. That is one of the biggest myths that I find in this. So if you're concerned that you're going to get approached about it and you don't want to get into it, don't worry, okay? It won't be one of the things. Now, the third and final worry that I had that I'm going to go over was that I didn't want to sell it. So, you know, I told you about that retail position that I had. We used to have products of the month and you used to have to push this product. So every time somebody wanted to buy a ticket, you'd say, do you want a bouncy ball for an extra $2? And it was ridiculous. I felt stupid saying it every time and it was annoying because people didn't want a bouncy ball. You know, it was just useless. So I was really concerned coming into this that I would have to approach all my family and friends and say, hi, I'm doing Juice Plus. Do you want to buy some? And that is not how it goes down at all. I actually entirely recommend you avoid that because it just pisses people off and they don't actually see the value behind our product. So what I encourage you guys to do, especially if you're just starting out and it's becoming like an enticing business opportunity, we use the method called UTR. And that's simply use the products. So be a product of the product so you understand and you believe in what you're selling. Talk about the product. So when people actually say, you know, what are you doing? Talk about it. Let them know what you're doing and share it. And then the last one is share your results. Now, this has been my biggest one because I obviously had really good results and I was in such a shitty stage before I came into Juice Plus. People noticed my results straight away. Social media is an amazing tool these days to share your results. Okay, you just have to take a photo like Shannon shared of your skin looking awesome, and people are going to resonate with that. They'll ask, what have you been doing? How's your face look so good? It's that simple. Okay, it's not rocket science and it's not hard selling, because there's people out there who need better health. I just had one of my dad's friends today. For some reason, I haven't seen her in decades, but she messaged me and said she's got arthritis. Could this help? And it's amazing. I haven't ever approached her about that. She's literally just seen me talk about my journey on it and thought that maybe it could help her as well. So I hope that explains a little bit about that. I'm going to jump on over to Jess now. And I'd love Jess to share just a little bit maybe about what she was worried about at first and how she's finding things now that she's just about to start her Juice Plus journey. If you don't mind, Jess, I'll spotlight you and take you off mute.
Hi, everyone. So I've been on the program for maybe about a month now, and Shannon approached me about it. Well, she was posting a lot of stuff about it on Facebook, and I was wondering what on earth she was going on about. And then I was going through a really dark phase. I suffer from major depression and anxiety myself. And yeah, Shannon just went on and on about how great this product was and how she really thought that it would do some good for me. And I've been on all sorts of different medications over the years to try and balance out my depression, and nothing's ever really worked. And I just last couple of months got put on to some medication, but still wasn't feeling good. I still didn't want to. I had no motivation for anything. I still felt very low about myself, and then I started on Juice Plus on the capsules, and things started going pretty well. And then something pretty major happened, and my partner of 5 years just walked out. So I ended up feeling really flat again. But the cool thing has been that was only 3 weeks ago that he did that. But I don't feel like I'm wanting to dig myself into a little hole and just stay there, and feels like my whole world has crumbled. Or I have this excitement that like keeps building up, and I feel like I'm sounding really weird, but I have this like little excitement that keeps building up. It's like I can't wait for this journey. I can't wait that I'm doing all these amazing things for myself. I feel good on the inside, which makes me feel good on the outside, which I don't generally feel. I have very low self-esteem, but this product is just brought out such a different, happy, excited side of me. And I just can't wait to share it with. I've already got people at work asking me. They'll walk past my desk, and I've got all my little capsules out ready to take them. And then what's that? And I'll tell them, and they're like, oh, okay. And now I've already got a couple wanting to sign up already. So it's just exciting to be able to share it and have people see the difference in me as well. I'm excited.
Thank you. That is so beautiful. Thank you so much. I'm sorry to put you on the spot. I didn't tell the story beforehand, and I feel a little bit shitty now, but I'm so happy that you're doing so well. And I understand exactly what you mean, okay, without going into detail. And you know what? If you feel that bubbly, wait till you get where I am 7 months later, and you are working with and impacting hundreds of people that you never even knew. And, I'll go a little bit more into my business story soon, but I'm sure it will resonate with you, and it'll get you even more excited, because so much is possible. I'm no one. I dropped out of uni 2 times because I didn't like it. I didn't like people telling me what to do. So I just assumed I was just going to have to keep making businesses. But this business works. It really works. I don't have to do the work, okay? I just show up and be myself and help people, and it booms. So get excited, because you're probably going to do really well at it with your beautiful heart. And it's an exciting journey. But I'm going to share a little bit about the money side. Now, at the start, I was so, I should say scared of the money, because I assumed that, you know, for a company like this to have so much money, there must be a scam in there somewhere, right? But I explained earlier that it literally is a legitimate business. It just doesn't use money in silly areas. Sorry, it saves that money and it gives it to the distributors. So that's what's cool. It's paying people to love their product. You know, it's paying those people who are seeing good results. It's saying, you know what, you are a prime example of what we want more people to be. So we're going to pay you to go and find other people to help. Okay, that makes sense. That's a job. That's a real job. You're going out there and you're helping people and you're getting paid really good to do it. So I'm going to be open and brave about the money because it gets me excited. And where I was when I first started this business, I couldn't even afford the sign-up fee. I had to break it up over 2 weeks because we were literally that strapped, but I'll get into that a little bit more. So when I noticed this video, yes, the helping, it definitely sparked something in me, but the money got me. The money sold me because I was like, I need some money desperately, and if I can do it by helping people, then I'm all in. So we get paid 3 ways. We get paid a retail, then we get paid a commission, and then we get paid a bonus. So today I'm just going to cover the bonus section because it's the fun money. Okay, it's the really cool money, and in our business, which is predominantly females, there are some males. If you're a male watching, don't feel frightened, but we're predominantly females and we really like to shop. So we say that the bonus money is often money that needs to get spent on yourself, because if you're a mom or if you're at uni or if you're something like that where online work normally appeals to you, you quite often plug that money into someone else. So we like to be rewarded and to reward you. So I'm going to talk about that fun bonus money. I'll swap my pen over because that one sucks. So when you're in the business, we normally get to your first promotion, which is DVF, within the first 10 days. Okay, and with DVF comes a $100 bonus. So you've literally pretty much made back your startup fee within 10 days. Then we move you to SDVF within the first 40 days. SDVF comes with a nice $400 bonus. We don't get sign up. Like I said, it's not a sign up club, but it's a teaching business. So when Jess came into this, like she said, Shannon introduced her. Shannon will be there to hold her hand and to bring her up every single way, because that's Shannon's job in this business. Because that's her business, she's going to get paid $400 when Jess does. Cool? Can you see that? Then we move on to SC. SC is a $600 bonus. $600 for your teacher as well. Okay, then we move on to SSC, $1,200, $1,200 for your teacher. Then we move on to QNMD, which is $1,500 and $1,500 for your teacher. And then we get to our pinnacle position, which is NMD, and it's a $3,000 bonus. And your teacher doesn't get one because they're also an NMD at that stage. And at NMD, you're normally earning about $100,000 minimum. Okay? If you're around a 39 club, that's your base wage. And that's a residual wage. So that's what comes in whether you work or not. And that is your percentage, how we were talking about. So that's just one way of the 3 ways you get paid. Now, this business is obviously a business that's going to grow over time. You do need time. It's not a get rich quick scheme. That one always gets me, but it does work. Okay, and it depends how hard you want to work. So I came into this business with a massive story. I shared a little bit about my depression and anxiety, but my partner at the time also suffered from a mental condition, and he was really, really sick, as sick as you can probably imagine, to the point where everything was left on me, and we'd had 2 small children. I was working all day at my family daycare business and then going to dance every night until 10 o'clock. I was often taking my children there because he couldn't look after them. I was coming home and doing all the housework because he couldn't do it. I was literally caring for him, looking after him, doing my work and trying to look after my 2 children and also dealing with my own issues. Now, it was such a shit time in my life that I'm only just starting to be able to share my story now without getting upset about it. But it made me who I was, and it made me so determined to make something better for us, because my partner couldn't deal with going to work. He had a very high-stress job. He was a foreman at a construction site. And imagine somebody who cannot deal under pressure, and his mentality was all over the place. It wasn't safe for him to go to work, and all that responsibility fell on me. So I wanted something that I could allow him to stay home and get better and get well. And I was out there searching, I was working my ass off. I was trying to find a way to do it through daycare and through dancing, but it just wasn't happening. It was a constant circle for years, going round and round chasing our tails. And because I was working and I was running 2 businesses pretty much in a deficit, we had nothing, absolutely nothing. And I laugh because we actually had the bankruptcy papers filled out. We literally had them filled out because there was no other option. And I went and I met Lauren, and it just made sense to me. I seen something like this and I thought, you know what? Traditional isn't working for me. I've worked my ass off and I'm not getting anywhere. And I knew I had more to give. I knew I had so much value to give people, and I wasn't giving it. I didn't feel like I was using my potential. So I jumped into this business when I realized that I could do it, and I started to help people and I started to gain that momentum. In my first month, I hit this bonus and this bonus. So that actually made me about $1,200. And that was just $1,200 that I made on top of my normal wage. So that was money. That was money that we could utilize. And that was the first time I really realized that this business could work. If that was the start of my month, my first month, I should really go for this. So we've been doing it for 7 months now, and I'm now at QNMD, and I'm really proud to say that I've retired my partner, so he no longer works. And we just spent 4 weeks in Bali because we could. We just went away as a family, and we spent that time together, bonding, no stress, relaxing, not stressing about money, because my business was still working in the background, because I could still jump on the Wi-Fi every now and then and check in with my team and be there to still mentor them and help out my customers. But that was the flexibility that my business gave me. I literally could do it from where I wanted to be, with who I wanted to be with. So it's really special to me. I have NMD Insights, and I'm hoping by the end of the year, this is just, not to impress you guys, but to pretty much just show you what's possible. I'm hoping by the end of the year to be earning 10 grand a month. So that's my goal. It's completely possible because, like I said, this business is the vehicle to use it. And you're doing something good. You're not going out there and doing something that you're going to dislike. You're going to go out there and actually help people. Now, it's not guaranteed. We have people come into this business who aren't made for it, and they can't get out of their comfort zone, and they can't plug themselves into the system. And so, there's definitely challenges in there. I'm not going to say it's easy money and that everybody's going to be making that money straight away, but the possibility is there. This system does work. If you follow the system and you really want it, you have that desire like I had to change, this is the best vehicle for you to be in, because you have the support, you have the people there cheering you on, you have head office dealing with all the crazy shit for you. You just literally have to get the customer and connect them to the company, and that's your job done. Check in on them, make sure they're achieving their goals, check in on your team and make sure they're achieving your goals, and that's your job. It's so rewarding and it's so beneficial. So if you're sitting there, you're feeling a little bit over shit, you want a different way out, or you want something that's going to give you more freedom, talk to the people who invited you here tonight, because I can guarantee that if you have a desire big enough, you're teachable and you're willing to get into action, this could be anything that you want it to be. Like I said, this is my first year, so that rate is only going to go up every single year, because the popcorn effect of my business means it grows with or without me. And that's where residual income comes in. So I hope that makes sense to you. I hope I didn't ramble too much, but I just wanted to really thank everybody for jumping on tonight. I'm sure these guys appreciate it as well. And if you're watching this link, know that you've been sent it because people care about you. They've obviously thought that maybe something in it might resonate with you or help you out in the circumstance that you're in. So thank you everybody for jumping on. I'm going to stop the record now. So everybody have a great night. Bye.